mobility class. All we're going to need today is a mat. But before we get started, if you'll take a look at your screen, we do have a couple of things coming up for the month of June. We have that CubeFit Perform program coming up. It's really to help you master your form and help you like feel better about exercising. So during the month of June, we're gonna have some master classes. Some of the CubeFit classes are going to be called master classes, and there'll be quizzes and answer the quiz questions to enter into a chance to win the raffle prize, which is a massage gift card. Also, you get to learn some good things about, performance and form. As well as we have that perfect posture program coming up in June as well, which really focuses on posture more than like form through movements. So posture really directly influences how big of a breath you can take at any given time, muscle recovery, all that stuff. So if your posture is not where it needs to be, you won't be recovering correctly, be able to breathe correctly. So that's kind of a big thing we have going on in June, as well as the third Wednesday in June. As usual, we got our cooking demo coming up, and this month they're focusing on starches and colorful veggies. So this spaghetti squash bake looks really good in this picture. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one. Okay, enough with that. Let me stop presenting, highlight myself for y'all, and then we'll go ahead and get this thing rolling. Spotlight. All right, nice and easy. Okay, we're gonna start standing up. All right. So, like I said, all we're gonna need is a mat, maybe a wall or a desk for a little bit of balance and maybe assist on one of the moves here. All right. So, I'm gonna start with heel rockers, really mobilizing the ankles and warming up the calves here. So, I'm gonna rock back on my heels, pulling my toes up here, and then up on my toes, flexing my calves, driving my heels up off the floor. And again, I'm just using the wall for a little bit of balance here. You can stand here without the wall if your balance is a little bit better than mine. What I want to focus on here is when we go up on our tippy toes, really flex that calf, drive those heels as high as you can. And then when you rock back onto your heels, really drive those toes up as much as you can. You'll feel the front of your shin flex, as well as that calf will stretch with this move as well. Nice and easy. Okay, we're going to transition here. We're going to stick one foot out, heel down, toe up. Okay, so just like so. And I'm going to let this back leg bend, keep that front leg straight, and I'm going to sweep through with some hamstring sweeps, really stretching out the hamstring and the top of that calf there a little bit more. Be here for a handful of reps, nice and easy. When we go to hinge forward, I want to shoot those hips back, keep this front leg straight, and sweep as deep as I can. Really get into that stretch there. Transition to the other side here. We're gonna do the exact same thing here. So set up, heel down, toe up, back leg bent a little bit. And ooh, yes. You might be holding tension like I am, more on one side than the other. I definitely just felt that left hamstring yell at me a little bit when I got into this move. Ooh. So if you're feeling a little imbalance, this is really where we work on it. There we go. And one more rep. Okay. We hit the back of the leg, we hit the lower leg. Now we're hit the upper front part of the leg with a standing quad stretch, right? So again, I'm just using the wall for some support. I'm gonna pick my knee up in front of me. I'm gonna grab the front of my ankle or the top of my foot and pull that heel to my glute here, trying to get it as close to my glute as I can get it. If you get it there and you feel like you need a little bit more of a stretch, add a slight forward lean here. So hinge forward just a bit. You get a little deeper into that stretch. Just make sure that heel stays in contact with that glute, or as close to it as you can get. Drop that foot down. We do the same thing on the opposite side here. So again, I'm just using the wall for a little bit of balance. Pick that knee up out in front of you. Grab the top of that foot or the front of that ankle. Oh, yep. Again, I tend to hold more tension on my left side, so I'm feeling it a lot more on my left. Just in case you're dealing with something similar where your sides do not feel the same, I'm professional and I'm also dealing with it. It's just the way things work sometimes. We tend to lean on one side of our body a little bit more than the other. Okay. And release. Go ahead and shake those legs out. Ooh, flex my toes a little bit. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and drop down to a kneeling position. I'm going to go ahead and adjust my camera just a little bit here. There we go. Okay. So dropping down to a knee here. In this position, what I want here is I want my downed knee just under my hip and my leg that's up. I want that heel below my knee, maybe slightly in front. All right. So what we're going to get into here is a kneeling lunge. All right. So we're going to push those hips down and forward. We're going to add a rotation towards that front leg. All right. So my left leg is forward. I'm rotating to my left. So I'm keeping my hips down and forward, my hips square to the front, and I'm turning my shoulders. I'm rotating under my shoulders to the left. Okay, and release. Now, what we're going to do is come back to a neutral position. I'm going to shift my weight back. For me, it's easier with my toes tucked as opposed to my foot flat. So I like to keep my toes tucked, shift my weight onto that back foot, whew, and reach towards those toes. If you can get to those toes, pull those toes towards you, really stretching out the back of that, the full back of that leg a little bit more. From the calf all the way up to the bottom of the glute there. Oh, okay. Whew, we do the same thing on the other side. So go ahead and set up on that opposite side. So I'm dropping my left leg down, right leg coming up, same setup, down knee below the hip, that heel under this knee, maybe slightly ahead, and then add that forward, hips down and forward here. Keep that body, upper body upright. There we go. Rotate towards that front leg. I like to use my knee on my opposite arm as a little bit of like assistance. I can torque my body to the right while keeping my leg forward here. Okay, release. Back to neutral. Remember, we're shifting that weight back onto that back foot now, stretching out that front leg. Okay. Release. We're going to stay in a kneeling position. I'm going to go ahead and switch legs again so we don't spend a lot of time on one knee and just make that knee kind of start bothering us. Okay, so we're going to set back up into this kneeling position. I'm going back to my other side here. We're going to do the same thing. First move is going to be the same. The second two moves are going to be a little bit different here. All right, so transition here. Hips down and forward. Remember, heel just below that knee, maybe slightly in front. We're going to add that forward lunge, really focusing on driving those hips down and forward, really focusing on driving that knee out over those toes, if not past the toes, while keeping this foot fully in contact with the floor. And again, upper body is staying upright. Back neutral, we're going to shift back into that move one more time before we transition to the next one. Remember, try to leave this foot completely planted. My heel, your heel is going to want to drive up if your foot's going too far forward. So just try to keep that heel in contact with the ground, not only opening up this hip and hip flexor, really working on mobilization of that ankle as well. Please. Now, open it about 45 degrees. So this leg come out about 45 degrees. Again, same setup, heel beneath the knee, maybe slightly up in front of, and then face forward, push that weight out over, again, me striving over that toe, and I'm still, my upper body's still upright and facing forward here. Should start to hit that hip a little bit different. Those adductors are going to start to like, oh, we're stretching. So definitely mobilizing some things here. Shift that weight back neutral, and we're gonna go back that way one more time, y'all. There we go. And back. And last but not least, on this side, we're gonna go ahead and open it all the way up. All right. So my downed knee is facing forward. My left knee, my up leg is facing all the way left. All right. So I'm making 90 degrees at my hips here. Body still facing forward. And I'm going to push my knee out over those toes again while leaving this foot completely in contact with the floor. Oh, this is where you really, really will feel the adductors. If you didn't feel it at that 45, you're going to feel it here. It's true for me anyway. Shift that weight back neutral. Whew, that was a little tougher. All right, we're going to go back into it one more time. Let's go. Ignore my wincing faces. With mobilizing and stretching, it's not always going to be the most comfortable thing. It should not be painful, but it might be a bit uncomfortable. Okay. Woo, that one was tough. We're going to do the same thing on the other side here. Shake it out if you need to. You just saw me wiggle my hips out a little bit. I'm definitely working here. Okay. Once you get your self set up nice and balanced, which there we go. I was in a little divot in the floor. Heel below that knee, maybe slightly ahead. Shift that weight forward. Again, body upright, foot staying in contact with the floor, knee driving out over those toes. Weight back neutral. We go one more time to the front. There we go. Right now, we're gonna 45 degrees. That foot setup, remember, foot placement below the foot, below the knee. And then push the knee out over those toes. This is where you start to feel it a little bit for sure. Come back neutral here. Nice deep breath. Push that weight back out over. Remember pushing that knee out over those toes while keeping that foot in contact with the floor, the whole foot. Okay. And open it all the way up 90 degrees here. Woo, these are the tough ones for me. And shift that weight out once you get yourself set up. Come back neutral. One more time back out there. No, it's not comfortable. Woo. There we go. Come back neutral. Drop that knee down. Take a second to catch your breath. I know that was like work. It was work for me. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pivot here. You can see what I'm doing a little bit better. We're gonna go from a kneeling position, a single down knee, to all fours. All right, so both knees down, both hands down to the floor. What I want to focus on here is keeping that back flat. All right, so I'm not hyper extending it, and I'm not curling it up either. So I'm gonna go here, keep that back relatively flat. Push my right hand through my left leg and my right arm. I mean, my left leg on my left arm, excuse me. And I'm just gonna reach through as far as I can, slowly dropping that elbow down to the floor. And if I can get this shoulder down to the floor, I'm gonna go ahead and drop it all the way down. Nice rotation through the spine here, and just let it relax here for a moment. Let that back open up a little bit. And we're gonna follow this hand with our eyes and open it up towards the sky. Nice big rotation. Follow it with your eyes. Bring it back through. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Extend that arm out, drop that elbow and shoulder down. And open it up, following it with your eyes. And one more time. Don't forget to breathe. Try not to hold your breath through these moves. Open it back up. Follow the hand with your eyes. And that hand down with the exact same thing with that opposite hand. So really breathe and let that back open up. Yep. You'll probably notice if you're watching the screen here, I don't rotate as well to my left. Again, that just comes with holding all that tension on my left side. But that's what we're working on here. Reach it back through. Open it up again. Follow that hand with your eyes. And one more time. And open it back up. Okay. Bring that hand down. Last but not least, we're going to keep it nice and simple. What we're going to do here, stay in an all fours position, slightly open those knees up a little bit. And I'm going to sit my hips back down as far as I can and extend my hands out. Hold on. Turn my head around for this one. I'm going to extend my hands out as far as I can. Really opening up that upper back and middle back. Trying to release some of that tension here. Walk it to the left here. Keep those arms fully extended, really stretching out that right side of the body there. Walk it back center. Nice deep breath. And then we're going to walk it out to the right, stretching out that left side of our body. Okay. and bring it back center. Spread those hands apart a little bit. You can shift that weight forward, get up onto all fours, make it easier to get up onto your feet. And then that's all I got for us for mobility today. I hope y'all needed that as much as I did. Thank y'all for joining me, and I'll be looking forward to seeing y'all next week. Have a good one.